This is Word Module 1, Part 2. We are we're picking back up on page WD1-50. So, we have all of our text in our document. Now it's time to add some pictures. So, I'm going to come down after the How paragraph and click to get my cursor in this blank paragraph right here. I want to center that paragraph, so Home tab, Paragraph Area, Center button. And then I'm going to insert a picture. So Insert tab. The picture is saved on my computer, so I'm going to choose Pictures. And then navigate and find that picture saved on my computer. Here it is. I'll select it and click Insert. Now, when I insert a picture and it is selected, you'll notice you get a special tool or special tab for that picture. On this tab, this controls all the different things that have to do with my picture. If I don't see a tab, that means I probably haven't selected the picture. So if I click off, you'll see it goes away. Click again, here it is back. So I want to resize this picture, but I want to make sure that I do it in a way that it keeps its proportions. So on my Picture Tools tab, in the Size area, you can see the size of this picture. Also, if I can change the size here for these pictures, or also if I hover over the corner of the picture, you'll see I get a two-headed arrow. Actually, any of the dots on the picture give me a two-headed arrow. I want to choose one of the dots from the corner because if I try to resize this picture with the dots in the middle of the picture, it will actually smush the picture and make it look funny. Whereas if I grab it from the corner, it will size it proportionally. So I want to resize this picture so that it has a height of about 2 inches. And you can see my numbers are changing up here in this area as I go. Now I can also change my height by clicking these buttons right here, which if you're trying to get an exact size is probably easier. Once I've changed my size of my picture, now it's time to apply a picture style. So that's still on that Picture Tools tab. In the Picture Style area, you'll notice there's a Quick Style button. And if I click on that and hover over the different quick styles, you can see it's applying different styles, or it's giving me a preview of the different styles that it can apply. I want Snip Diagonal Corner White Picture Style. So I'll go ahead and click to choose that. So I also want to apply a picture effect to this picture. So I'm still on my Picture Tools tab, Format tab, and the picture effect is in the Picture Style area. And I have some choices. In this case, I want Shadow, and I want Perspective Upper Left. If we hover over the options, it will give us the exact name of the option we want. So there is our Perspective Upper Left picture effect. Now I'm going to make a couple of other changes to this document. So one thing I want to do is I don't really like the color theme here. It's kind of yucky, honestly. So if I come up to my Design tab, I don't have to change the entire theme of the document, but I can change the colors that are part of the document. So in the Document Formatting area on the Design tab, I can choose Blue 2, and you'll notice that will change how this document looks. I can also apply a page border. While I'm sitting here looking at this flyer there, I'm noticing that I have a blank line right here up at the top. So let me delete that out so everything fits on one page. Now, page border. On my Design tab, in the Page Background area is the option for page border. And I can select different options here in my style list. So let me come down and find this style, and I can change the color of this page border. So I want turquoise accent 3 darker 25% as my option, and then I can click OK. That gives me a nice page border around my document. And then also I can change how the spacing and layout looks on this flyer. Let me zoom out a little bit. By default, there's certain spaces between each paragraph, but I can change the spaces between before and after that. So if I look on my layout tab, you'll see there's an area called paragraph, and it has an area called spacing. So I can change my spacing to be 0 after my document. I can change my spacing to be 0 after the paragraph. So I do need to change my document properties. This allows me to be able to search and find documents easier. If I go to my File button and come down to the Info area, you'll notice there's some properties over here on the side for this document. So where it says comments, I can click in here and add ITE 115 assignment. So I know that that's where that came from. So now I can go ahead and save this file again. And to save a file with the exact same name, I can use my Quick Save button, which is up here at the top. If I press it, it just saves an updated version. And then if you are using Office 365 and you have your file saving to OneDrive, and this file is going to OneDrive, then you'll notice that there's an autosave option. You probably won't see these on the school computers, but at home, that is a very handy feature to have something continuously saving. That way, if something happens and your computer cuts off or something like that, you haven't lost all of your work. So to close this document, if I click on my File button, I can come down to the Close area. This will close my document without closing out of Word completely. Next, let's talk about correcting errors and revising a document that's already been created. So let's open our document back up. So I'm going to come back to File, Open. And if you'll notice, I have the option to open up the file that I just worked on. If I don't see it in my list, I can click browse and find it on my computer. So I click open, that opens the document back up. Now I think we talked about this in the beginning, but here, this button down here at the bottom changes our page zoom, which is helpful to be able to see the entire document, especially for flyers. So to insert a word, we come and click in front of the word, or wherever we want to add the word or add the text. So wherever that blinking line is, that cursor is where, as I start typing, the text will appear. So I'm going to type, then apply soap. And then sometimes we like to move things around, and you don't want to have to retype everything. So to be able to move text around or objects around, you can use cut, copying, and pasting. So let's talk about cutting first or deleting text. So now if I go back to that word then, I can either highlight the whole word, or if I double click on it, it will select the entire word. And then I can use my scissors to cut that word and get it out of there. And then if I want to copy and paste, let's try it with the word clean. I'm going to double click on the word clean in order to select it. And then on my home tab in my clipboard area is the option to copy. Now there are a million ways to copy something, so if you like a different way, that is fine. So I'm going to copy it and then come down to where it says using a towel and click in front of the word towel, and now I will paste that word by clicking on the home tab in the clipboard area, the paste button, and that will insert that word. once you've inserted a word, you get a paste option menu that shows. You can click on that and choose various options. This is helpful when you are cutting and pasting into something that has a different formatting. In this case, we're just pasting, but if you wanted to paste something and keep the original formatting or just keep the text, you could use this menu in order to do that. And then to move text, let's talk about that. We are going to come down to the line before, during, and after preparing food. I'm going to click on that entire line. I'm going to select that entire line and then drag this line to where I want to move this line to. And if you see, there's a nice dark line that lets me know where I'm moving the text to. And I release, and it will move my text there. There are other ways to move text. You can cut and paste it too as well. If you know a different way, it's fine to use it. Now let's talk about switching to reading mode. It kind of gives you a better idea of what your document is going to look like. That option is down here at the bottom. You have read mode. By default, you're in print layout, and then there's also web layout. So let me click on read mode, and you can see it takes away the ribbon so that I can see my document a little bit better. I can zoom out and see exactly how it's going to look. I can also click on print layout once again to see what it's going to look like. Now I've made a few changes. I'm going to go ahead and click my quick save button to save this document. And then you will never print a document for me to turn in, but if you needed to print a document, you go to your file button and print. And that allows you to print a document. You'll have some options like how many copies you want and which printer you want to use. And then you click the print button. I'm not going to do that today because everything that we do in this class will be turning in digitally and online, so there's no need to print anything for me, but it is helpful to know how to do it. So a couple of other things to know about for Word. There's some help built in if you are struggling with something. So for instance, there is the tell me what you want to do box up here at the top. So if you click in that box and you type, say you want to change the margin. So if I type margins, it will give me some options, some directions, and then different things that I may want to do. I can click on adjust margins and you can see it'll show me my different margin options. There is also a help pane that you can use. You click on the Help tab. That'll give you some options, but you can choose the Help button and it will open a pane so that you can search for different types of help. So if I wanted something about borders, I can type in border and it will give me some options and I can choose info and see how to do something. This is very handy if you can't find something, you can quickly search for help right within Word, and yes, you can use this on a test. So when you're at home, if you click on your File button, come to your Home button up here, you'll see the option for Account. By logging into your account, this allows you to be able to save things not only on the computer but up in the cloud so that you can access it another time. So you can click Manage Account and log in if you're not already logged in, and you can also log out if you need to log out. And you'll know whether or not you're logged into an account because up in the top you will see your name. So that is it for Word Module 1. I hope it was helpful and look forward to discussing this chapter with you in class. See you soon.